Okay. Good morning, students. Welcome to Real Analysis live lectures. Today we are going to start our syllabus, and in today's lecture I will discuss list upper bound and Archimedean property. Okay, so let me start writing. List upper, or instead of this I will just let me erase this. List upper bound and Archimedean property. Okay, so first we will define what is upper bound. Upper bound of a set. What is an upper bound? Let A be a non-empty set. Non-empty set of R. Then an element alpha belongs to R is said to be an upper bound of A if x is less than equal to alpha for every x belongs to A. Okay, so everybody can see this definition?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we are considering a non-empty subset of R, and element, any real number we are taking, it is said to be an upper bound of A if it is greater than or equal to every element of A. Is that okay? What this means? X is less than equal to alpha, or alpha is greater than equal to x for every x in A. Is that okay? Upper bound.
Yes, ma'am.
A is any non-empty subset of real line. Any real line subset you can take. For example, say, can you give any subset of R? Non-empty subset of R says 0,
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. I am taking interval, okay? 0, 1. Let A is equal to 0, 1. Can you give me an upper bound for this set?
1.
1 is an upper bound. Upper bound of A. What about 2? Whether 2 is an upper bound?
Ma'am, but 2 is not included in this interval.
2 is not included in this interval. But what is my definition? Alpha belongs to R, any real number. Any real number which satisfies this property. X is less than equal to alpha, or instead of x less than equal to alpha, I will write alpha is greater than equal to, okay? Alpha is greater than equal to x for every x in A. It should be greater than or equal to every element of that set. That is only the condition. Is that okay? So 2 is greater than equal to every element of this set.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, 2 is a real number. So 2 is also
Yes,
an
ma'am.
2 is also
Upper bound.
an upper bound. So it is not necessary, it should be a element of that set. Okay, any real number which satisfies this condition is said to be an upper bound of A. What about half? 0.5 or half, you can say.
It is not an upper bound.
It is not an upper bound.
It is not an upper bound, right? How you are saying it is not an upper bound of A?
It does not satisfy the condition of upper bound.
It does not.
One is greater than half.
Yeah, it does not satisfy this condition. Alpha greater than equal to x for every x in A. Does not satisfy means this condition fails. So if this condition fails, then we will say it is not an upper bound. Alpha is not an upper bound. So what is mean by this condition fails? Means this condition is not true. I want negation, na? So when I will say it is not an upper bound, alpha is not in upper bound, when I will say if there
If
exists,
alpha is less than
if alpha is yes, if alpha is less than x for some x in A, there exists x in A such that alpha is strictly less than that x, right? Let me write a remark. One, alpha belongs to R is not an upper bound of A if, when I can say if there exists x belongs to A such that alpha is strictly less than x, right? Is that right?
yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
for example, what can I write? 0.5 for this set, right? Or we will take different, say 1, 2. Then whether or instead of this 0 to 2. So here 1 is not an upper bound of A because 1 is strictly less than 2. 2 belongs to A and 1 is strictly less than 2. So there exists x in element in A which is strictly greater than this 1. Therefore 1 is not an upper bound of A. Is that okay? Upper bound of A and not an upper bound of A. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Second remark. Second remark, if alpha is an upper bound, of A, then what can I say about any element which is greater than alpha?
Is an upper bound of
And beta greater than alpha, then beta is also
upper bound.
an upper bound of A, right? Because
Yes, ma'am.
if beta is greater than alpha means it will satisfy this condition. Obviously it will satisfy this condition, right? beta greater than alpha. Is it? So beta is always beta is greater than or equal to x for every x in A. Therefore, any element which is greater than alpha or which is greater than upper bound is again a upper bound for that set. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we'll go to next definition. Bounded above set. Let A be a non-empty subset of R. Then A is said to be bounded above when I will say A is said to be bounded above if there exists an upper bound for that set. If there exists alpha in R such that alpha is an upper bound of A. Is that okay? If there exists an upper bound for that set A, then we will say that A is bounded above. For example, whatever we have taken 0, 1, 0, 2, whatever, for example, 0, 1, any, just now we have taken 0, 2. These are bounded above. These are bounded above sets, subsets of R. Okay. Now, can you give me, with this discussion, can you give me a set for which there is no upper bound?
Set of natural numbers.
Set of natural numbers, right. Note that set of natural numbers. It is a subset of R, which is a subset of R. So it is not bounded above. Actually, we have to prove this bounded above because there does not exist an upper bound for this set. That we will prove in Archimedean property. Okay. Okay. Any another example?
Set of whole numbers.
Yeah, means you can take rationals and all that things. Okay. Integers, rationals, whole numbers. These are not bounded above sets. Okay. Now we will go to next definition. Least upper bound. Let A is a non-empty set which is subset of R. Then alpha belongs to R is said to be least upper bound LUB or instead I will write full. List upper bound of A, or in another words it is also called as supremum of A. If it satisfies two conditions. What is it? First, alpha is an upper bound of A, is an upper bound of A. First, it should be upper bound and it should be least among all upper bounds. So, if beta is an upper bound, of A, then it should be least means alpha should be less than or equal to beta, right? Alpha must be less than or equal to beta, or whatever upper bounds are there, in that it should be least, means alpha is less than or equal to beta for every upper bound of A. Then we will say that alpha is a least upper bound, or we will call it as supremum, and it is denoted by alpha is equal to LUB of A, or we also write as supremum of A. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, do you know maximum? Maximum of a set A?
Yes, ma'am.
Or instead of that, first we will take one. Okay, first we will take one example, means we will see example, and then we will go to maximum and all that. So first, just now we have defined least upper bound. So now we will take example. Just now, say 0 and 1. Okay, so what is least upper bound for this set?
0, 1.
0?
No, ma'am. 1.
1. 1 is a here. Supremum of A is nothing but 1. What about 2? 2 is an upper bound, but it is not least, right? So 1 is a least upper bound of A, or supremum of A here. Another example, if A is equal to, say, to 5. What is upper bound?
5.
So supremum of A is equal to 5. Okay. It should be least. We will take now another set. Now 1 by n. N belongs to R. 1 by n. Not R. N belongs to natural numbers. We will take. So what is this set? This is nothing but 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, and so on. Is that right? So what is an upper bound?
1, 0.
What is an upper bound for this set?
1.
What is supremum of A?
1.
There are many upper bounds, but
1.
Yeah, many upper bounds, but what is supremum?
It's 1.
It's 1. Okay. So say this is okay. Now here 1 belongs to this set. 1 belongs to this set. 1 belongs to this set itself, right? Supremum of A
Yes, ma'am.
or whatever least upper bound that belongs to that set A. Then we will say it is that supremum is also called as maximum of A. What is remark? If it belongs to that set, then we will say if an upper bound, if an upper bound alpha belongs to R of A belongs to A, if an upper bound alpha belongs to R of A belongs to A, then alpha is called the maximum of A. Maximum of A. There is a difference between maximum and supremum, okay? Maximum of A. Whenever that upper bound belongs to A, then we will say it is a maximum of A. Sorry. This is first remark. Second remark, if alpha and beta are least upper bounds of A, then what can I say? It must be equal. Then alpha must be equal to beta. How can I prove this? If there are two least upper bounds, we are saying it must be or they must be equal. Yes? Huh? Yes? Any doubt? So how we can prove this? Yes?
आपण जर ओपन इंटरवल 0,1 घेतली
Ha.
तिथे जर डिफाइन करायचं मग तेव्हा कसं होईल?
Yes, okay, we will take that also example. Yes, take fourth example. We will say here fourth. Suppose A is equal to open interval 0, 1. What is supremum of A?
1
1 again. But whether it belongs to A?
no
No. So this is not maximum. It is supremum, but not maximum. Okay. If that supremum also belongs to A, then we will say it is maximum of A. Maximum and supremum, when it will be same? If that supremum also belongs to that set itself. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you getting this point?
yes ma'am. मग आपण म्हणू शकतो ना की एव्हरी मॅक्सिमम एलिमेंट इज अ सुप्रीमम.
Every maximum element is supremum.
सुप्रीमम
But every supremum is not maximum.
Maximum.
Yes. Okay, so now can you prove this? If alpha and beta are least upper bounds of A, then alpha must be equal to beta.
Yes, ma'am. Every set contain unique supremum element.
Yeah, that
Uh,
unique supremum means this only, because alpha, so here list alpha is list upper bound, means it is an upper bound and it is list, and here beta is an upper bound. Okay, let me write. Alpha and beta are upper bounds, list upper bounds of A. So alpha is an upper bound, and since it is list, alpha must be less than equal to beta, and beta is also upper bound of A. So, and beta is also list, so beta is also less than equal to alpha. So this implies alpha must be equal to beta. So there exists only one supremum or list upper bound for a set. Okay, unique means list upper bound of a set or supremum of a set is unique. That is supremum or list upper bound of a set is unique. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So if A is not bounded above, then what can I say about supremum? Supremum of A is equal to plus infinity if A is not, this is by convention, A is not bounded above. Supremum of A is equal to plus infinity, and if A is equal to empty set, supremum of A we denote as minus infinity, since every real number is an upper bound, right? Every real number is an upper bound for A. Is that okay? So among that, it is minus infinity is the least. Is that okay, these two remarks? Okay.
मॅम सेकंड रिमार्क एकदा सांगाल का?
Second म्हणजे कोणती वरचं? Here, if alpha and beta are least upper bound, this one, then alpha is fourth one. If it is an empty set असेल तर काय? Actually, whatever definition we have defined for upper bound and all that things, that are for non-empty sets, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So for empty set, by convention we are defining we are taking it supremum of A as minus infinity. For example, because every real number will be an upper bound for empty set. Why every real number is an upper bound for A? Because in empty set does not contain any element. So whatever real number you take, it satisfies that property. Which property? This one. This one, upper bound property. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because there does not exist any element, so whatever property we are saying, it is true only for any real number. So every real number is an upper bound for empty set. And supremum of A, so among that, what is least? Minus infinity. These are convention, means by convention we are saying supremum of A is plus infinity, and if it is empty set, then supremum of A we are denoting as minus infinity. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this you can prove this. I just written short in short, so you can prove this yourself. It's just as a lemma we can write. Okay, so now take another lemma. If alpha is the least upper bound of A, then for given epsilon greater than 0, for given epsilon greater than 0, alpha minus epsilon, what can I say about alpha minus epsilon then? If alpha is the least upper bound and epsilon is greater than 0, what can I say about alpha minus epsilon, whether it is an upper bound or it is not an upper bound?
It is not an upper bound.
It is not an upper bound of A. Is not an upper bound of A. So if alpha is the least upper bound of A, then for given epsilon greater than 0, alpha minus epsilon is not an upper bound of A. How we can prove this? Just 2-3 lines. Given that alpha is equal to least upper bound of A. Now since epsilon is greater than 0, alpha minus epsilon is strictly less than alpha. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
So suppose alpha minus epsilon is an upper bound of A. Upper bound of A. Since alpha is least upper, or I will, since alpha is least, alpha must be less than or equal to alpha minus epsilon. Is it right? Alpha is least. So alpha is
No,
less than or equal to alpha minus epsilon. If it is least, which is contradiction. Is that right?
yes, ma'am.
Therefore, alpha minus epsilon is not an upper bound. Of A. So whenever we want to prove something is not an upper bound, so you start with whether suppose it is an upper bound of A. If it is an upper bound, what will happen? It must be greater than or equal to every element of that set, right? But alpha is also a least upper bound and alpha is least, therefore alpha must be less than or equal to alpha minus epsilon, but epsilon is greater than 0. Therefore we must have alpha minus epsilon is strictly less than alpha, right? So we are getting contradiction. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll take one example. Let A is equal to 0, 1. Then least upper bound of A is equal to 1. We have to prove this. what is A? A is equal to 0, comma 1. Whether it is finite set, infinite set?
It's finite.
It is a finite set. It is an infinite set. Interval, na? Any interval is an infinite set. Because there are infinitely many elements between 0 and 1. This. How many elements are there? Infinitely many elements are there, right? You cannot.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes.
this interval, any small interval if you take, still it is an infinite subset of R, real line. Is it okay? Now we have to prove least upper bound for this set is 1. So how we will prove least upper bound? Clearly 1 is an upper bound. Clearly 1 is an upper bound for this set A.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we want to prove it is a least upper bound, right? Then we will say it is a least upper bound of A is 1. We want to prove this. If beta is any upper bound of A, then alpha must be less than 1. Oh, sorry, 1 is less than instead of alpha, here we are saying it is 1, na? We want to show alpha is 1. Is that okay? Now we will consider any another upper bound of A, and we will show this 1 or alpha is less than that upper bound. Okay, so let beta be an upper bound of A. If what we want to show, so our claim, what we want to show, 1 is less than or equal to beta. Beta I am taking any arbitrary upper bound of A. And if I show 1 is less than or equal to every beta or this beta, arbitrary beta, then I will say 1 is the least. So I want to prove this. For that I will suppose it is not. Suppose 1 is not less than or equal to beta, means beta is, suppose beta is strictly greater than 1. Whatever I want to prove, then we will, we are assuming its negation and we will arrive to the contradiction. Okay. So suppose beta is, suppose not means let beta is strictly less than 1. So take x is equal to beta plus 1 by 2. Then obviously 0 is less than x less than 1. Can I say like this? If beta is less than 1 and if I am taking x is equal to beta plus 1 by 2, then 0 must, that x must lie between 0 to 1.
Yes, ma'am.
Means x belongs to that set A, right? Which is nothing but my A. Okay. Now what about x minus beta? Wait. Okay. What about x minus beta? It is nothing but beta plus 1 by 2 minus beta. What is this? Beta plus 1 minus 2 beta by 2. Beta plus 1 minus. So So what I am getting? 1 minus beta by 2.
2.
And since beta is strictly less than 1, it will imply 1 minus beta by 2 must be greater than 0. Beta is strictly less than 1. So 1 minus beta by 2 is strictly greater than 0. Yes. So what
Yes,
is
ma'am.
x minus beta must be greater than 0. So this implies what? X is strictly greater than beta, which is what? Which is contradiction to beta is an upper bound. We are saying beta is an upper bound, which is contradiction as what? X is less than equal to beta for all x belongs to A, right? Therefore 1 must be less than or equal to beta, and which implies 1 is the least upper bound of A. Is that okay?
Yes.
So what we have done here,
Yes, ma'am.
we have given this set A is equal to 0, 1, and we want to show 1 is the least upper bound. So for that we have taken another upper bound and we have shown that 1 is less than or equal to that beta. We want to show that 1 is the least. So if I want to prove 1 is less than or equal to beta, we have assumed, suppose it is not, and we have arrived at a contradiction by constructing the element which belongs to that set and which is greater than that beta upper bound, because beta is an upper bound and we have constructed one element which is greater than that. So that is a contradiction. Why we have arrived this with why we got such element? Because our assumption is wrong. This assumption is wrong because we have assumed beta is less than 1. Because of this we are getting, means we have constructed this element x and which is greater than beta. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, let me so any doubts till now?
No.
So now we will define, just now we have defined upper bound. So in similar way we will define now lower bound. Lower bound. So can you tell me now what is the lower bound? If A is a non-empty subset of R, non-empty subset of R, then an element beta belongs to R is said to be lower bound. Lower bound of A. If, can anybody tell me lower bound? If beta is less than or equal to x for every x in A. Upper bound साठी काय होतं इथे? Alpha is greater than equal to x for every x in A. Then we say that alpha is an upper bound. आता reverse मध्ये beta is less than equal to x for every x in A. If it is less than or equal to every element of that set A, then we will say it is a lower bound. That real number is a lower bound. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
For example, if A is equal to 0, 1, open interval 0, 1, what is lower bound?
0.
Lower bound is 0, right? Any another lower bound? Not half. -1. Lower bounds of
Yes,
A. -1, -2, and so on. Means there are infinitely many. Okay. If A is equal to 2, 5, then what are lower bounds? 2.
2.
2, 1, 0, -1, and many. Okay, infinitely many again. Okay, if A is equal to, say, whatever we have taken, this n belongs to a set of natural numbers. What is the lower bound? What is this set? 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, and so on. So what is the lower bound?
0.
0. Whether 0 is a lower bound?
Yes.
Yes. Whether it belongs to that set? Again, there are some lower bounds which belongs to that set and which does not belong to that set. Okay. In first example, lower bound does not belong to that set. In second example, lower bound belongs to that set. At least one lower bound. So 2 is that we will see, like greatest lower bound, and then infimum and minimum. What is difference between infimum and minimum? Okay. So next we will define now. First we will define bounded below. A set is said to be bounded below. Let A is a non-empty subset of R. Then A is said to be bounded below. When we will say bounded below, if there exists beta belongs to R such that beta is a lower bound. Bound of A. Is that okay? That is, there exists beta belongs to R such that x is greater than equal to beta for every x in A. Now we will define greatest lower bound. So let every time my non-empty set A is subset of R, then beta belongs to R is said to be greatest lower bound of A, or it is also called as infimum of A. If what should be first? Beta is a lower bound of A, and it should be greatest. It should be greatest means if gamma is another lower bound of A, UUND, then it should be beta should be greatest means beta must be greater or equal to gamma. Is that okay?
Yes.
So we will write a remark. Infimum of A is equal to minus infinity if A is not bounded below. If it is not bounded below, then what should be the infimum? We assume it is minus infinity. And if it is an empty set, what should be my infimum? Infimum of A is equal to plus infinity if A is equal to empty set. Because what? Every real number is lower bound for, and what is the greatest? Plus infinity, right? Similar thing. Okay. We denote this greatest lower bound of A by greatest lower bound of A, beta is equal to GLB of A or infimum of A. Infimum of A. Is that okay? Instead of take example. Let A is equal to same example 0 1. Then GLB of A. What should be GLB? Infimum. What should be infimum? It should be 0. Then GLB of A must be 0. So how can we prove this? How can we prove this? Can you prove this? Similar lines, we have to construct one element. Okay, so let beta Bn be a lower bound of A. Greater than 0. We are taking another beta be a lower bound of A. In previous case we have assumed it is a upper bound. Now we will start with beta be a lower bound of A, and we show that what is our claim? 0 must be greater than equal to every lower bound, right? Suppose not.
Yes, ma'am.
Suppose not. That is, say beta is strictly greater than 0. We are assuming, suppose beta is strictly greater than 0. Now we will construct one element, take x is equal to beta by 2. Then what can I say about x, it is x belongs to 0, 1.
Yes, sir.
Yes, because beta is greater than 0. So by 2 means it must be less. Let me write like this. Then 0 must be less than x, less than 1. That is x belongs to A. Now, what about x minus beta? It is beta by 2 minus beta, means minus beta by 2, right? And since beta is greater than 0, what can I say about minus beta by 2, which is strictly less than 0?
Yes, ma'am.
Beta is strictly greater than 0, we are saying, na? Our assumption. So this must be strictly less than 0. That is, so this implies x minus beta is strictly less than 0, means x is less than beta, right? And which is?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Which is contradiction. Contradiction to what? To beta is the lower bound. Contradiction to beta is lower bound of A. Therefore, 0, our assumption is wrong. So 0 must be greater equal to beta, and this implies 0 is GLB of A. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so any doubts?
No.
No,
So today we have seen we have defined least upper bound, or first lower bound bounded below set, then least upper bound bounded above set, least upper bound and greatest lower bound, and some examples. So we will stop here.
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
1 second.
Ma'am,
One second.